Hello. Welcome back to Lenny Plans. I finally have all of my planners for 2023, and so I thought I would give you guys a sneak peek on what I will be using next year. They all have the Tomoe River paper. That is just my favorite paper. And there will be some that you have seen me use before, and some new ones and some new ones and some kind of new versions of old favorites. So just to start with, I am going to give you guys a look at this one. So this is the Hobonichi 5-year, and I got the A6. I've been super curious about these for honestly years, but I just sort of wasn't sure like when to start one. I had originally kind of looked into them to start off in 2020, and then just didn't quite get around to it, and then 2021 was kind of another hectic year, courtesy of the pandemic and my work situation and things like that. So I kind of missed out on the like the neat and tidy starting from 2020 or 2021 to 2025. But I actually turn 40 next year in 2023. So even though it's not tracking neatly with, rounding to the nearest 5, it's a meaningful year for me. So this will go from 40 to 44, and then, if I'm able to continue, then my next one will go from 45 to 49, and so on and so forth. So that is why I sort of am actually quite excited to start this next year. And so for those who haven't seen it, open it up. It's so pretty. The pages are a little more, it's hard to see in this light, I think. I've had some lighting challenges today, so hopefully it's okay coming through. But yeah, it's a little bit more yellow. It's a little bit more cream than the whiter pages that I usually prefer. And what it is, it's one day to a page. So in this case, it is month first, then day, so 13th of May. And then you would have this section for 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. So you can compare across the years what you were doing or what you were thinking about on that day. So I'm going to use this just to sort of journal a little bit of what life looks like, maybe where I am, or big events that are happening, or, memories from what the kids are doing or where they're up to. My eldest is actually starting high school next year, and my youngest is starting homeschooling. So it's actually going to be, I think, quite a meaningful year to start. And I really look forward to seeing how that progresses as the years continue. So I really hope that I can sustain that, because I think that'll be just really, really cool. So that is the first one. The second one is a familiar favorite. So I love my Wonderland planner. I love the basic size. I love the paper, and I love the colors, and I really actually love what they've done with the tones for next year as well. Like, I'll show you. Here's my this year's one. Let me find a blank week. Hang on. Here we go. So hopefully you can see the tone differences. I just love that dark font on the lighter shading. I just think it looks so much cleaner and clearer. So I just love it. I love what they've done. One of the other changes, if you guys want a more in-depth comparison, I'm more than happy to do that. I did one last year when I also compared the sizes. I didn't get the A6 or the A5 this year, or for next year, because I've got the other planners instead. So I won't be able to do a comparison across the range. But if you were curious to see like 21 to 22 to 23 and how those things have changed, like, let me know. More than happy to do something more in-depth. Otherwise, I think probably the biggest change is that they have removed November and December from 2022. And they've given us more note pages at the back, more day pages or dailies, which I had some feelings about originally, because in my 2022 planner, I had started it in November, 1st of November. And so I've actually used like the tabs for the year November, December, and then I hoped to jump across in November once this one finishes. So yeah, like that's more of a personal thing. But all in all, I have to say I kind of love the idea of having some more daily pages, because that has been a challenge for me. Is just I don't know, like I want to have space to be able to just chuck things in, because I do use the notes pages for memory planning and for memory tracking, memory keeping, and for planning out like holidays and stuff with the kids. So I had some feelings originally, but I actually have come to be really quite happy with it. And all my other planners are kind of starting around the same time anyway. So I think it'll just be a little bit neater to kind of just finish the year in the old one and then start fresh. It's actually, oh, I've got that wrong. There you go. I do get December. I can still do December. I don't know why. I was so sure that I was starting. I must have just flicked wrong. And I somehow managed to skip over an entire month. Don't mind me. Anyway, we still lose November. But, oh yeah, I don't know. I'll see how I go about that. I have thoughts now. Sidetracking. I may dive in December. That's only a couple of weeks away. Well, I don't know. Anyway, you don't need to hear all of those ins and outs. Long story short, I'm going to be in the B6 Wonderland again. And can I just say, oh my goodness, they did purple. Like, I was umming and ahhing, I'll be honest, about whether I do another year. Not because I dislike it for any reason, just because I had come across some of the other planners that I am also going to be using. And I was like, maybe I don't need the Wonderland. And then it really came down to the fact that I love this planner. I love the size. I love the layout. I'm so comfy in it. And it's purple this year. Like, oh, couldn't resist. So yes, that is the Wonderland. Let me know if you would like a comparison on that. I'm going to jump to the Hobonichi Cousin for 2023, because for the first time they have come out with the English version in the Cousin. So they've had the English version in the original size for a little while, and yeah, like I actually really love that. But A6's, I love weekly spreads. That's why like most of what I do is weekly spreads. So and you can get the the weekly supplement and blah blah blah. But anyway, they have it in English. So I have not been able to resist. Historically, when I have been in the Cousin, I have used the Avec because that is the half year, and it is just a little bit better for me because I do tend to chunk up. As you will see, like if you just saw then my Wonderland, she chunky. So like because I'm adding stickers and photos and things like that, like my planners can get really chunky. So yeah, when I have used the full year, I think I last used it in 2019. I've got my Cousin, the full year one from 2019, and I only used it for half a year, and that is how fat it got. So I'm curious to see how I'll go in the full year. I think I will not be using stickers in this. I mean, I'm using the Avec this year, which I won't show you because it's got more like work and confidential stuff. That's the Avec inside a quite thick cover. But excuse me. But yeah, like I don't tend to use a lot of stickers and things like that. So it doesn't chunk up too much. So I think I'll be able to do a full year in the Cousin, as long as I am not doing what I did to this one, which is like, I'll show you what I mean. like the spine holds up well, like it's really well constructed, and honestly you can chunk these up like no issue. For me, it actually came down to writing. So and even on the weeks it wasn't too bad. Like I have no idea what's in here, it's so old. Yeah, you can see I used a lot of stickers, and like the weeks, fine, like it still lies flat really nicely. It's not really causing too much issue with writing. But when you jump ahead to like the dailies, like this part will sit really nice and flat, and this is like bunched up and on a curve. So I just found it really hard to like write on this section here of the page. So it was just getting harder and harder towards the end. So that's why I switched to the Avec back in 2019. So I actually have an Avec from second half of 2019. Ooh, she chunky. So yeah, very, very long story short, I'm going to be using the Cousin again. And we shall see. I don't think I can add too much ephemera, but like that's okay, because I tend to do more of that in the Wonderland, and I'm not going to be doing it in the 5-year either. I'm going to try and keep that to just pen and paper, because I want it to last the 5 years, and I don't want to hit a point where I feel like I just can't write in it anymore because it's just not sitting nicely. Part of me really wants to add photos, but I just don't think that's going to be wise. I think I just need to pen and paper in this one. And that's what this one is for. Chunk her up. So that is those three. Now, the last one that I have here is a new one for me. I am really excited. Like, I'm pretty familiar with the other companies and how they work. This one was completely new. So this is a take a note planner, and it comes from Singapore. Like I said at the beginning, it does use the Tomoe river paper. It's got a very different layout though. Excuse me. So so what you can see here is the cover is, I don't know, once again, I don't know if the lighting's coming through. It's quite it's a warm gray. It's a little bit mottled. It almost looks recycled. I'm not sure if it is. It's really solid, like it's a fun noise. And it's got quite sharp corners on the cover. So it is designed to go inside a cover. And they sell them as well. I just chose not to because I have other covers that I can use. I'm sort of thinking to actually pop it into like this one that I currently have my Hobonichi Avec in for this year. I think it'll be really nice, especially with like the matching copper. Not that you may ever see that. But anyway, the other thing about this is the spine is bound. Like it's a really nice, it's stitched, sorry, it's really nicely bound, but it is a visible spine. So like once again, just I guess keeping that in mind. Cool thing about this is because of the binding, it lays flat, like of course that flips up right then, but like it actually lays like flat. How cool is that? Like look at that. It's wild. So yeah, like I think that's really cool. So even though I've got the covers, I don't know, I might chop and change. So with this one, it is similar to a few other planners. It's almost like a combination of a bunch of things that I really like. You'll be able to see from here that the weeklies actually have like a week to view in the first column, and then you've got a day per half page, and the week runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday across 2 pages or 4 pages. So it's a week to 4 page basically. And so I think I can imagine that, you know, if I were to, I'm not actually going to fold it now, but if I wanted to, like it would actually fold almost exactly halfway. So there's a few options there that you can do in terms of visibility depending on what you like. And I have done that Dutch door style in bullet journaling in previous years. So I'm quite comfortable with that. I love the amount of space. I love that it has a time bar here. Hopefully you can see that quite well. It's got a grayed out section at 12 o'clock for lunchtime. Hopefully that will encourage me to take lunch. This I heard recently and haven't checked precisely, but I heard that this is almost the same dimensions as, or like height as the the Hobonichi weeks. So I actually pulled one out to compare. So this is a 2019 one, so it's an older one. Let me find a blank. There we go. So there's a blank week. So if you wanted to use stickers in here, look at that. That is close, isn't it? So if I were to measure that is 14 point, oh gosh, I want to say like 14.65, almost 14.7 centimeters. And then the weeks is 14 point, what is that? Like 8.5, almost 14.9. So there's like a 2 mil difference. So depending on like which stickers you use, like, so there's an example there. Like it would almost fit if you wanted to use some sticker kits. Depending on how you feel about that. I just thought that was really cool, actually. I haven't used the weeks for a long time, but yeah, cool options. So that is the general layout of this one. So if I were to just flick back to the beginning, I can have a quick flick through, because this was quite new for me. I think there's, you know, it's relatively well known, so you probably have heard of it before, but like just to have a bit of a look. You've got your yearly layout, year to view. This page I'm still thinking about. This is a tracker, and really it looks like you're only tracking 1 or 2 things per month. So there's like, there's kind of two spots there. So I mean, that could be really good, because maybe I'll be more consistent with tracking if I'm only tracking 2 things. But at the same time, I actually really like, I'm a bit behind, but like if I were to look at my trackers here, like I'm actually tracking like reading, sleeping, walking, what days I'm working, my cycle, and like whether I get headaches, because I get a lot of like headaches and migraines and stuff. So I'm actually tracking a few things. So like, I don't know, if I were to kind of break that down into two things, I don't know, like, do I track like just my headaches and my cycle and my exercise and my sleep are all connected? Like I kind of want to work, and actually the days that I'm working, I get more headaches when I work. So like, I don't know how I'm going to use that. It'll be interesting to see. So I'll have to think about that. If you're only tracking 2 things, this could be perfect. After that, you've got your future planning section, or I usually only use this for like big events, birthdays, anniversaries, that kind of thing. In previous years when I've worked in office jobs or team environments where it's a little bit more competitive to get leave, like you can't take leave when somebody else is on leave, because there has to be somebody on all the time, then I would use it to track like school holidays and school terms and public holidays, and be a little bit sneaky about trying to get in first to apply for leave. Really good pluses of being a planner, am I right? So yeah, there's 2 pages of that. I suspect I'll probably just use that for birthdays. I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, and they all have birthdays. So this is the monthly spread in the Take a Note, and I actually really love how clean this is. I think you can see it here too. I just feel like as a planner, it's got so much negative space, and the font is so clear and simple, and visually it is not distracting at all. I love that it doesn't have too much shading. One of the things that I do occasionally struggle with is the shading, like in where's a monthly in here. So like there's a monthly. Actually, that's so interesting. They look almost the same. What is that? 2.7 by 3-ish. 2.7 by just under 3. But like, what about below the numbers? So 2.7 obviously by 2.3. Whoa, that's 2.4. That's so interesting. So that actually is almost the same size as the B6 Wonderland. Plus you have all of the extra space around. Wow, that's wild. It's very different to the Hobonichi Cousin, which does, like, the monthlies really take up quite a lot of space. This works fine for me. I've already been using that in the Wonderland, so that amount of space is just fine. I also don't tend to track, like, my weekly, like, the things that I have every week. It's more like big events or unusual things. So I don't need extra space, and there's plenty of space to kind of jot things around or details if I need to. One of the other things that I thought was really cool about this one is all the pages are numbered. So the Wonderland does have that too, but on the monthly, it actually tells you the page number of that week. So for example, first week in there, so it actually has that. I don't know if you can see it. It's really faint. P040. So if you go to page 40, that's that week, starting with the day after Christmas. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I was just amused by that. So yeah, it's got all of the months of 2023 plus, when I get there, it also has the first quarter into 2024. I really like that because I tend to find that there are events that are kind of sneaking up on me and I know about them in advance. So I can just see so much practicality in this. It starts, as I said, or as I just showed you, it starts on the day after Christmas. And then the 1st of January is the following Sunday. And then it goes through right through till the end of December. So it's going to be really exciting for all us planners next year who like the Monday starts, because 2024 starts with January 1st on a Monday. Love it when that happens. Always such a novelty, and this is really satisfying too. So I'm kind of pumped for that. The Take a Note doesn't have a lot of additional note pages, so it's only got like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're using it for, like, if you want something that you can add a lot of extra notes pages in, or you need specific dailies more than what you get in a column, this might not be the most ideal planner for you. But like, I just think there is so much more space here compared to either of these two that have the time bar columns. So I'm curious now about like the width difference. So I don't know if you guys are, you can bear with me. So in the Hobonichi A5, the column is, what is that? 3.35. And that is 6.3. And that's 3.5. So like, the column width is almost double. Like, that's really wild. I just think there'll be such good space. So that is the Take a Note. And these are the 4 planners that I'll be using. The plan at the moment, provided it doesn't change depending on what I think in the moment. I swear I've changed my mind a million times. This I'm going to be using for predominantly like just memory keeping, so that I can compare and contrast across 5 years. This is sort of more for posterity, something that I can kind of hang on to long term. This is one that is going to have probably more of those like photo memories. I'll be able to be a little bit more creative in it, chunk it up, have some fun. This is going to be, I'm coming back to this one, I should just lay them like that. This one is going to be more my like just trash it, like whatever happens, pen and paper, not going to chuck a lot of stickers in. If I am, I don't know, just journaling some thoughts after work, but it's confidential stuff, I can put it in here. I like planning bill paying in a monthly calendar, because I like to be able to see visually when bills are coming out compared to when income is coming in. That's why you guys don't really see my my cousin very much. It is quite confidential and has a lot of personal information in it, but I really appreciate that. So this one you probably won't see as much in my planning, probably more this one. And this one, oh, I don't know. I just really love this one. I'm so curious to see how I go with it. I really think it will be probably more like personal journaling, where like these are a little bit more accessible and I don't mind if people see them. This is probably going to be more just for me. So I'm looking forward to trying that. I'm curious to see if it ends up being something that I just kind of live in a bit more and use more functionally, but that is the plan at this stage. So let me know if you have any questions about any of the ones that I have shown you today, and let me know what you're using. What are you guys using for 2023? Are these ones that you've tried before? What do you love about them? What do you hate about them? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I look forward to hearing. Hope you guys are going okay. Talk to you next time.